So yes. Stop working just to start a Stop working just to start a I too close to work just to warm up. Stop working just to start a I too close to work just to warm up. Stop working just to start a I too close to work just to warm up. Stop working just to start a I too close to work just to warm up. Stop working just to start a I too close to work just to warm up. Stop working just to start a I too close to work just to
What's good, Oos?
What's good, Uzo?
What is going on?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome, everyone, all of you guys tuning in from around the world.
Around the globe.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to episode 7 of ForTheBoys Podcast. Obviously, so we can get the daily squeeze, and hopefully they all jump on shortly. Some comments already, but Oos, how's it going? How's your day been?
Good, bro. Good. Just just taking it day by day. With this level 3 thing. How are you, bro?
Nice. Yeah, bro, good. I had the day off today, so that was pretty good. Basically, just spent the day with the little ones. Try to think of things to do. You know, keep the mind busy so they're not smashing up the place. they usually do anyway, so.
Oh, thank you. When are you back?
Tomorrow I got a morning shift, so back to that 40K. Oh, he's just my dog.
Oh, what's up, mother? Shout out, motherfucker. That's loyal, bro.
What's up? Hey, just a bit of a shout out to our sponsors as well, coming through with the goods. Well, it's not here yet, but shout out to Matthew Show, and also Sweatshop. But a little info on Matthew Show. He does live streaming, NBA 2K. But the brother Swanky can elaborate more on that.
Oh no, you know, just our boys having a jam on 2K20. Nothing special. Nice. But they all the poly streamers that play 2K20, NBA 2K20, they're having a tournament this weekend.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So
you jumping in on that one?
Oh, no, I'll let Muffy Uso handle that one. I'll just cheer from the sidelines. But yeah. So all the poly streamers, the heavyweights, are having a tournament this weekend. Yeah, it's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Should be a good networking thing for the Muffy show.
Yeah, nice. He was saying that he's had a chat with an old mate, and he's a poly streamer, and apparently he's one of the best out there. So that'll be a good stream to watch as well.
It's funny how it's a career option now, eh? These streaming things, bro.
Man, the amount of money these people get for staying online for 24/7. Shit, bro, it's a lot of money you can make. And my internet can't even handle it. Sorry about the teddy bears in the background. Yeah.
I think one moved, bro. I think
They never
I think
scare me
one
like that.
moved. Oh no!
They never
I
scare
think
me like
one
that.
moved back there.
Might have to turn on all the lights in the house. But now, shit. What we were talking about? Yeah, what's this level 3 lockdown, bro? How's it going with you and the family? And anything changed?
Oh, nah, man, not so much, not so much. Just really, the kids really,
Yeah.
the online learning. But yeah,
So, and saying that online learning, are you the teacher? Are you guiding them?
so now just stay in my lane, brother.
That's 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 one thing I don't want to kind of do with my little ones, eh? And if it gets to a stage where, oh, Dad, you have to help out, I'll be like, ooh.
Yeah. Have you seen
If
those memes? Have you seen those memes where the parent is like repeating the question to the kid? Like, he ate 5 cookies, how many is left? And then the voice goes louder and louder. That's my style, bro. Not
yeah, it'll
productive.
be like, oh yeah, ask me the question. I just gotta ask Uncle Google for the answers. Just hold up, give me 10 seconds.
Oh,
Or
bro.
if it's that, go ask mum or ask dad or ask the
Oh,
grandparents.
jeez. Because daddy never went to school.
Or Papa here went to school, but to eat the lunch. Wonder if the lads are jumping on or are they waiting for something? Waiting for
Hey,
coffee or tea?
did you have a watch on that new sub on camp?
Yeah, bro. That's
How long is it?
bro. Um, it's probably like 8 minutes. No, it's not that long, but or not even that. Probably 10 minutes. So everyone that tuned in, or 200 of, um, we had what do you call it? A rail safety week at work. If you don't know, obviously myself and Pat, we work in the rail, but yeah, it's focused on safety in the rail, and we had a close friend of ours who's now left the job. He went through a few fatalities, and yeah, he's now off, and it's a bit hard, I guess, for him to talk about, um, as what happened really. Um, but in saying that, it was all three. Yeah, I think it's all three were suicides. So suicides also.
Yo,
Damn,
did he have
man.
3?
Yeah, I think the last two were the
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah. The
Yeah,
famous one,
yeah. I don't really want to dig into that. But suicides, man, on the rail, it's
That's bro. That's the ugly side of the rails, eh?
yeah,
It
it's
does really.
it's and it doesn't make it any easier because it's so accessible to public, and some of these places, like their backyard is the bloody tracks.
Yeah, for sure.
So nah, man, it's not a place to be. It's not a place to use as a walkway, and we get a lot of those.
A lot of people play with it too. Like you pull up and they try and play chicken with you, eh? Like, dude,
Yeah, bro.
I'm like a 2-ton machine.
And for those, it's like driving a truck with like so many trailers on the back. Just imagine pulling out in front of someone just pulling out in front of you. Obviously, he's not going to stop, and all their weight pushes up.
Yeah, bro. With no
Have you,
grip. Like, there's no grip.
bro? Nothing's going to stop him, man. But have you come across any near misses or on the job?
Just the last one, not too long ago. Well, I had to slow right down.
Oh, so you had
He
time
was
to,
on the edge, bro. Like he was having a argument with his partner or something.
Yeah.
He was pulling up, and I had to crawl up. Like I had to stop. I had to pretty much stop and then crawl.
Yeah, I had I can count. It's probably about maybe six near misses on the job. Near misses. I had one with a car.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
after.
remember.
Yeah, and bro, and that's just before heading into Papakura, Walters Road. Not that anyone cares, but bro, yeah, I was try beat the Barry Arms.
Bro, you had 6?
Yeah, bro. So the first one being on on the job training, and then they had that second one, and then most of it's just out west too. Up six.
Kia ora koutou.
Hey,
How
Sabuzo.
you, how you, bro?
What's up, man? All good, man.
What's going on? What's going on?
Days off, Bruce?
What was that?
Maya, you on days off?
No. Work the morning. I was in Manukau today.
Oh, yeah, I saw you. I was gonna take your car. You parked there. Yeah.
The beast.
I was gonna ticket your cars.
Well, why do they block the first car park? Where's the second?
New trains.
Oh, do they do that? Does it come
Yeah.
and just park there?
Yeah, they use their gate down
They use
down
the
the
gate
back.
on 5 to bring the trains.
Oh wow! So the new trains are coming through.
Yeah, new trains. Yeah, new trains.
Mm.
Well, nowhere to put
Again,
it.
again, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the new electric trains coming through.
Dad, where's your water bottle? Can I have some water?
And we have a depot in Auckland. That new trains are coming through. My man,
Hey, Vince. How are you, bro?
what's up?
Yo, how's it going, boys?
Good,
Kia ora, bro.
Yo.
What's going on, Us? What's going on?
Is this just a transit thing going on right now? I came here for nuggets of wisdom, not
You came to the right place. You came to the right place.
not you guys.
Spin the wheel,
Your
brother.
son.
That's what you want to talk about.
Some nug nuts.
Turn the light on.
Do you want to join my loom? My pyramid,
You what?
my pyramid scheme?
What are we spreading?
What? Yeah. Finish work?
Yeah,
That man's on call all the time, bro.
never finished.
Good to see you, Uzo.
What did you have for dinner?
Oh, just a humble.
Here's my dinner.
Oh, bodybuilder food, bro. Bodybuilder.
That's all I've been eating.
Is that your dinners?
Yeah, because I can't be asked cooking. And the missus is at work, so
Never love those.
Hey, is it true they're closing off the Eastern Line on Monday for 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, I heard.
yeah.
Hey,
What's up, Josh?
Josh. How you
Bro, how are
doing?
you? Oh, Well, before everyone jumped on,
The
we were
old,
just talking about rail safety week and the things that happen with fatalities. And I think with Vinny, bro, you would have experienced maybe a lot in your career, or know people that have gone through that side.
No, I only know Danielle. I haven't personally been through it.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Right.
I've been pretty lucky. Yeah,
That's a career
driving
of what? How long? 15,
12,
20?
12 years and haven't hit anyone. So,
Touch wood.
So it's
but
good, eh?
Danielle, Danielle's been involved in two now.
What?
As a train manager and a driver, eh?
No, just both train manager. Nothing as a driver yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
The first one was out west, just past Henderson. I think there was a lady who ran away from the local hospital because Whitehack Hospital's just up the road.
Yeah.
So she was still in her hospital gown and all that stuff.
man.
Damn.
Second one was with Kevin.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw the piece that he did with the news about
News Hub. Yeah.
yeah, that was he was talking about the one that he had with Danielle,
That was a pretty bad one, eh?
mother and daughter. Yeah,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
Yeah. We Pat and I were just having a yarn about that. And, yeah, touch wood. We go through any of that. But that mother and daughter one, that would have been.
I don't doubt it had an effect on Kevin. It must have.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear a backstory, like it's a mother and daughter. That's tough when you hear it that way.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Ooh.
And apparently, the police or someone, I think, sent him a letter and they let him know the names.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they had the victims' names in the letter
Wow.
just to make it worse.
Wow.
Oh man.
Um,
Obviously, he's gonna go through that kind of depression. That's the biggest trauma you can have, and to seal it off. Oh yeah, you might as well know the end as well.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Man.
Hey, Moose, I've got a question for since you're in obviously one of the roles in our company. You know, with people that go through fatalities and that, what's the process? Like, what happens straight away after the?
so, pretty much the next day, doesn't matter what day of the week it is, they try to drag you into head office to have a council meeting, face-to-face counselling meeting. And they'll bring a counsellor. I think at the moment it's Benestar who do our counselling. And then from there, I don't know what's discussed in them because I've never been in one.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's like open floor, discuss your feelings type thing. After that, I think the company provide. I don't know if it's. I know it's 3 if you go up to them and if you want to talk about anything, you get 3 for free. But I don't know. I think in a fatality situation, I think you get as many as you need. But don't quote me on that. But
Yeah.
I know for Kevin's instance, the company even paid for him to go see a specialist twice on 2 different occasions. And specialists aren't cheap because they're not the same as counsellors.
Yes.
So I mean, I think the company looks after the guys pretty well. I mean, in some ways maybe they could do better, but I know when it comes to that type of stuff, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have to be. You're right. It would have to be that.
But yeah, I mean, on one hand, you could look at it and say, you know, it's the right thing to do, and it is to look after your people. But from a business point of view, and this is pretty cold, but it's cheaper to get you back in the seat than it is to train up another one. So
Mm,
it makes sense to look after you guys.
yeah.
Mm.
And with Danielle going through too, how long did she get? Much time off, or was she forced to come back?
No, it wasn't forced. No. The first one was the hardest for her because I think she saw the victim take their last breath, is what she said.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh,
So,
Man.
and it was her first one. So that one hit her the hardest. The second one, I think she was fine by the second one.
Now I know that going. I think the other week I just missed a cat or a dog. I think it was.
Yep.
Even that, like bloody hell, man, gave me a fright. You know, you jumping out of your seat, like, did I hit it? Did I hit it? Obviously, would have had a little bump, or I don't know really.
Yeah.
But bro, that gives me a fright, bro. Just missing a cat or dog.
Yeah.
You hope that they make it across, but then, you know, seeing the after effects of a fatality, different story, man.
Yeah. I think you guys, especially you two, should probably, I don't know, mentally prepare yourselves for it.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's just
Oh, yeah,
another
for
win, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah. It's more of a
Yep.
win
Yeah.
for sure.
I know when
Yes.
when I first started, and I was warned about it in my classes, and I went home and just started watching these sick videos of guys getting run over by trains and shit, just to try and get myself like over it.
Yeah.
But I've never been in it myself, but I'm sure it'll be different. No amount of watching videos will prepare you. I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah. The
And I always maintain, touch wood, this will never happen. But if I ever hit a kid, I think that'll be the end of my career. I mean, I could probably live with an adult or whatever, but kids, no.
Tough one.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's flipping.
Oh, man. Can't really say much until it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to a couple guys, you know, because I'm a bit straight up like that. But I've talked to a couple guys who have like hit people or run over people, and other than the sound, the train doesn't, you know, jump or anything. It almost kind of just cuts right through them.
Oh, man.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
True.
It's a tough one, bro.
yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have Louis on the show, who's obviously experienced his fair share. Just getting signed off, but yeah, he just I think can jump on during a break. But man, his one was pretty intense as well. The guy was just trying to run.
who's this? Louis.
Louis, yep. You know the
True.
one out Ranui. And the family petitioned to get gates on the Ranui pedestrian crossing,
Yeah.
or the level crossing. Sorry.
Was he
Oh, was
still?
Louis the?
Was he
Was
still
he
in
a
train?
team?
No, he was just signed off.
You just got signed off.
Yeah, it was fairly new, and yeah,
He came
Bro,
back within 3 days, eh?
within 3 days, bro. Like I was on the platform and I heard about it, and then like I think it was the second day. It's like, oh, is this guy coming for a meeting or? Nah, bro. He was running a train, so it, like you said, some people deal with it differently.
Yeah.
And you know, to react to that, even if, I've heard a story of a TM going through one at West. She was passengering on one, and where was this one? Well, it's out West, and the TM said, "Don't look outside the window, or like look outside the cab window." And obviously, your mind's already like there,
Yeah.
you know. And then boom, the body was there. So
Oh,
Was it Rita?
yeah, it was something like Rita and someone else in there. So someone
Yeah,
said to
I remember
her
that one.
and said, "Don't look out the window. We've just, bro." The
Yeah.
thoughts of trying to save someone and no, throw them in.
Yeah.
Hey,
I guess in a way it's not okay, but it's more palatable if they wanted to do it. Because I mean, if it wasn't going to be you, it was going to be the next one or the one before, or
yeah,
the next day. But
And
That's,
also, this public transport thing is very new to our public, or the trains at least.
mm,
So educating them for, I don't know, it's another thing.
that's exactly it, bro. Like educating everyone around rail, and people still think it's okay to do what they do. Like just like for example, people just jumping getting into the train, like just taking a passenger service. They think they're entitled to hold up a service just because they're late. That kind of stuff.
Mm.
And you have people that I think they've been doing it for years. Just use the shortcut through the tracks. Like out west, there's always that space where people just come through the track. Like, bro, if you're that close, you're gonna get yourself into trouble.
Mate, listen.
Like Six, how he used to use the railway to get to school, was it?
Jamal, are you under DB's disc?
The
You can come
bedroom.
out. You can come out, man.
Yeah.
We know, man. Come out.
Oh, and sorry, another question to the boys. Do you reckon, just as on the same topic of suicide, fatality, do you reckon having a PI counselor will make it better for us to talk to someone that if it does happen to you, would it be easy to talk to a PI person or European or white person, or what would make it easier?
I reckon a PI.
Yeah,
Easier to relate to.
yeah,
They understand, the culture and your background. Probably easier to get more information out of you or to discuss things.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Same. Yeah, that's what I reckon too. If that time comes, I don't think I'll ever open up to not being racist, but someone that's white and doesn't know me, because you could say stuff, and, for
They
whatever
want
reason, just don't think they relate to you in that time.
Yep.
And because you automatically think these guys just think they know it all, but
Yeah.
being someone of PI would definitely open up, or at least pull down that wall.
Yeah. Plus, there's the whole, perspective thing. You might have different perspective, different take on what you're going through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We had we were just having I was having a chat to Sosh. He was just breaking down a few of, not breaking down, but just having a chat about how us as people that work on the rail, if that does happen, because he works as a counselor as well, so would it be better for like PI to approach someone and talk to them rather than
Yeah.
some fancy, not fancy, but I guess it's just talking about opening up. That's all. Which
Do you boys have like one person that's always a mentor that you always take your deep stuff to? That's separate from your boys, that's separate from your friends. You guys have that one friend that's more than a friend, like is more of a mentor. You always drop everything on them.
Nah.
Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I like to tell my
I
secrets.
was talking to Fanga. We were talking about this morning, and Fanga was saying he's got that one person, that mentor that's separate from his boys that he always carries and drops everything on him, and and that mentor always says like like the honest truth is there's some just not like what you want to hear. He tells you what you need to hear, sort of thing.
yeah.
I guess in that regard, I'd say Danielle probably keeps me on the straight.
Nice. Yeah.
I'd say she.
That is a hard one though. Like I do talk to my wife, drop everything on her, but there's certain things that not trying to hide, but there's just something.
She won't.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah.
Like your porno fetish.
Oh,
Oh, that's shared, bro.
what? So many photos in here.
That's how he got his kids, man. Shit, porno stage.
That's a top secret. You don't tell those ones.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. There's some like what's that? Like you need to tell another male. But how often do you go and do that now? How often do you talk to that male or your friend? Sorry, your friend. So just put it in the jar. Put it in the jar, and then you look at it, and you're like, hard enough. That's what
Internalize it.
Yeah.
And then 6 photos later.
6 Cody's head like, How about yourself, Ricky? You have that person?
Oh, I like to think I have a few. There are a few that I drop shit on.
Oh, nice.
Kiri.
Hey.
You say Kiri?
Oh yeah, Gary.
Kiri Morrison.
Oh, Gary. Oh no.
Oh.
Hey, he watches this podcast.
Oh, no. We just lost a follow.
He's
Cost
always on.
us 6.
The English Premier Football ref of the has left.
Josh, are you on? Is this audio working?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's
I don't know if you want to jump in on this, but obviously with you dealing with youth, the suicide or for kids taking their lives, is that something your team or you deal with or have dealt with in your career as a youth worker? You want to add him to the thing? All right.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, bro?
Sorry, my reception was bad. But yeah, I haven't personally dealt with it. Like, it hasn't happened in my working years. But it has happened outside. We've had kids leave. And I can tell you it's the same kind of effect. The feelings and what do you call it? A trauma or you build relationships with these kids and rapport, and then they leave, and you're hoping that they do great things in life, and then you hear that they've passed away over real awkward stuff. But yeah, it's happened. not within our service or not in my work time, but it's happened outside with kids that have been real close. Not only that, but it's even in our community, our friends, families and stuff. For me, so I'm only caught like the last 10, 15 minutes because of my reception.
No worries.
Enjoy, bro. It'll keep running.
How's
Keep
your
running.
week been?
Say again.
How's your week been?
Oh, it's been a long week, eh? I've been it's my week off, so I just like to catch up with people and connect. So it's really important for me, and I think for everyone, is to kind of to touch base with people. Even we don't know what people's going through, and a simple call or a simple smile or just something,
Very true. Very true.
could change, eh? Could change whatever path they're on. So I've been doing a lot of reaching out and connecting with people who I haven't been in touch with for a while. And just while we're talking about suicide, the best thing that we can do is trying to see the precursors, right? That's the easiest way, because there's no way we can tell. Everyone smiles and no one shows their real faces, right? Because of this whole stigma of you need to be tough and you can't show that you're weak, right? And that's something that we need to break as a culture, especially in our Pacific communities, eh? Especially with this whole mindset that you're only strong if you have muscles, or you're only strong if you that sort of stuff. If you don't talk about your problems, but this is the issues it's caused. Kids can't communicate to their parents about how they feel, and they either turn to gangs, or they turn to drinks, or and then it's still not enough that whatever's caused them to feel like that, it's not being addressed, and then they make bad decisions. It's a real tricky one for me, eh?
It is, bro. Like
It's a
trying
half
to
and half.
build a void that's never full. You can't fill it.
Yeah. And I think we've all been at different levels of it. Like it might be the beginning levels of it, and someone's kind of someone or yourself, you kind of got yourself out of it. Some kids, they don't have the strategies or the supports around them, and it's really deep. It's deep and it's sad, but at the same time, we just don't know. We don't know. So the best thing is just to be present in each other's lives and actually be genuine and listen to each other.
Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are you up to? Are you picking up dinner, Josh?
Oh, it was, but we'll just have toast and eat. I totally forgot about it.
Are you holding out?
Yeah. I'm gonna eat here and then I'll tell him, Uncle's gonna send it over Uber Eats.
I think the problem with the whole talking about suicide thing is it's kind of seen as the whole if you commit suicide you go into hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess with the old heads, as soon as you try to speak about things that you shouldn't talk about, like suicide, they automatically associate it with hell and all that, so they quickly shut it down.
There's that line, eh? There's that line where
It's just taboo.
Growing up with, yeah, that's it, taboo. And some of the, even with my old man, we had a cousin pass away a while back. My dad just said, "Nah, he's just weak." I'm like,
That's it.
That's to me. I couldn't say he's weak, or my cousin couldn't, and he just took his life. And the old man said, he actually stood up and said something. He goes, "Oh, in the Bible, like, bro." And then I just looked at my brothers like, "Here we go. The man's gonna hit us with some." Yeah, he just basically said, if you do want to go down the road, like what Vinny said, it's you haven't looked at yourself, and you haven't looked at yourself better. There's more people struggling more than you, and like all these things that, bro, it's quite hurtful if you hear it from a family that's lost someone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to give him a high.
It's sad. It's all around shame-based stuff. They get embarrassed. Like they should be more concerned about where was the communication, or why did the kid end up in that spot in the first place. But times now are different, which is pretty good. I think even within just bigger churches and stuff, they're really looking at the development of the brain, and it's not as strict. But I know it goes and it's a different story reflecting it back onto the word. But even that, we still. I don't know. That's a massive subject, putting religion into this, But we, no one talks about the adultery that happens,
Yeah.
The lies and the,
The entanglement.
they're happy to talk about that, but not don't have one.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man.
Yeah, I hate that argument. Someone else has got it worse. I hate that argument.
Yeah.
It's sure. I mean, good for them, but you're still dealing with your problems. So.
Well, that's it. If you make everything if you talk about everything's on the same level.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it better. That everyone should be in a good place.
Yeah.
There's times where, bro, you're gonna just fall off your high horse and you don't want to eat your own words, basically.
What's hard is that you can never tell them, because as I said before, people smile all the time, walk around with a smile, but you'd never know, man.
Yeah.
Even if the after effects of it, and people not dealing with it and just smiling and saying they're okay, that's the problem. The problem that people can't just. I don't mean that in a bad way, but people are embarrassed to say they're not okay. Which is a really bad stigma, and it's caused by society and just not just that culture, everything. There's all these different aspects to it.
Yeah.
And obviously depression and mental health plays a big part, and like you said, like people, it's easy for people to hide, face value. They just smile, like you said, but deep down they're just going through something totally different from the norms. And there's so many paths that we can take, but I guess with you, Vinny, and how you went through that low part of your life, how did you, I guess, find? I know you have Danielle and your wife, that's helped you, but did you have any other kind of help, or did you?
So I hadn't met Danielle when I was going through it.
Oh, yep.
I was way before that. I know it sounds cliche, but time is the greatest healer. And some people, it takes years for them to heal. I think I was lucky it only took me 5 or 6 months. Although I guess the turning point was realizing that, with the help of my family and all that, but realizing I wanted to be there for my daughter. And so she was only 3 or 4 when I was going through it. And I remember the day we were at the beach, it was just me and her. And so at that point, it was, it was still weird that I was doing this whole single father thing. I'm used to doing it with the ex, someone at the time. And now here's me at the beach with my daughter by myself. And so I was, putting sunscreen on her, and she had it on her hands. And she touched my shoulder, my right shoulder with her hand. And she just said, it'll be all right. I don't know why she said that. But that's what she said. Anyway, I forgot to put sunscreen on me. We went out, came back, and at the end of the day, I saw my shoulder, and it still had my the part where she had touched was still white from her sunscreen on her hands, but the rest of me was burnt. But I think just looking at that, it kind of just put things in perspective for me. That this is why I need to stick around, and this is why I need to get better. This is why I need to pick myself up. And that, and I'll be honest, there was a lot of sleeping around that kind of helped too.
It always does.
Danielle knows about it, but that helped. It's not going to help for everyone else, but it really helped me. So
Need a physical release.
Nothing wrong
Do
with
those-
up and grind.
do those angry ones.
Okay, bondage. Let's go.
Yeah, bro. Like Kelly said, bro.
Oh no, I didn't. No, I wouldn't go there, mate.
Okay, man. That's something Jeremiah can really relate to.
Yeah.
Last
Pee-
part of your story there.
You into that peeing stuff? Eh?
Yeah, I think he's in a rap right now. As we
That's why the room's dark.
he's waiting for his master to release him or something. That's a me story. That's fun.
But I mean, like, yeah, that was my story. But it's not going to be the same for everyone. But I think it's important that you talk about it, because I talked about it with Mum quite a lot, and my friends at the time. So it was just about being around those people who just make you feel normal, I guess.
Yeah.
So you don't have anyone saying, "Yeah, cut it out, man.
Nah.
More fishes in the sea." So.
No, there was none of that. And that's a good point. I mean, for me, it wouldn't have worked, doing the whole tough love, snap out of it, be a man type shit. It might work for some others, I don't know. But I think the more supportive approach is probably the way to go.
Yeah. And with your life now and your little ones, your daughter's life, do you reckon it's important to have a healthy relationship between you and your ex, or how?
I think
I don't know.
we're friendly. I actually no, friendly is too strong a word.
Yeah.
We're on talking terms.
Right.
I don't hate her. I don't hate the dude that she was cheating on me with, who was also one of my good friends at the time. But I don't wish any ill towards him, because what's done is done. What I went through made me who I am, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have found Danielle. I wouldn't have.
Won't have a canoe.
Pretty much. So I think in every bad experience, there's always a silver lining. There's if you come out, and you will come out, but when you come out the other end, you're always going to be better. I think stronger for it. But in terms of the relationship with the ex, it's okay. I mean,
it's working for you guys.
Because
have at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, because we need to be amicable for my daughter. And saying that, I can't wait till she's, self-sufficient, and I don't need to chat to her anymore, so I can just deal straight with the daughter.
Yeah. True.
That's still another 4 years away, so
Nice, bro.
I had didn't have a similar. This was going back in the days, and leaving school, and I had a obviously someone I was with, and kind of went through the same situation you had. A friend of a friend, at a party, little shits anyway, but friend of a friend at a party, something went down, and I didn't know about it. Finding out about it through friends, yeah, that feeling of this is all I had.
yeah.
And I think what I went through then was just the alcohol that helped cover it up at night times. You
Right.
wake up great,
Yeah.
and then you do it again the same day.
Yeah.
You do this and drink, but alcohol helped back then. There was too much of it, too much of the alcohol, and you're losing your brain, just going out wasting money. I think I'm on the smaller scale of Vinny's chat, but
Oh, I'm sure there's probably worse stories out here, but
yeah. Oh, and Swanky, with you and Sin, do you guys have a good relationship with the kids, and I know with everything at home now that you get to spend a lot of time with the kids, and get the same thing or similar to what Vinny
Yeah,
and his daughter like kind of
yeah. We're just the relationship is just content. It's just the co-parenting thing. That's pretty much it. Just who's doing this, who's picking up the kids.
yeah, doesn't need to be anything else. Eh?
Nothing else. Yeah.
nice, bro. I got a message from Sosh, who I think was listening to the pod as a live stream, but he said there's a basic template that we can use if you know someone that is experiencing something like that. But he's just wrote it down. I know it's easy to write something down and then throw it at someone and hope they can deal with it, but this is just a basic template. He said with suicide therapy is to deal with the immediate threat and managing it. So in this case, teaching the individual skills how to manage their suicide thoughts, and I think going to someone, a counselor, and sorry to cut that up, but I think having someone to talk to, like Swinky said, to release what you're bottling up, and hope you doesn't go down that road of what your brain or your mind's telling you to do. And he's also said create a safety plan, changing what you do normally, which is the patterns that Vinny was saying. He changed up, he done stuff that he was saying that, and myself as well. Drinking was the habit, then changing that habit and putting a different plan for that. So that's just a couple of three things that he's added. But he wanted to be on and explain it more because I'm not the counselor, and you guys probably won't even believe what I think anyway. So
We believe you.
I'm counselor for tonight. But he can probably explain more to the therapy plan in the future live streams.
Oh, man.
Okay, can I speak to that? I got. Yeah. So I did come across two experiences that I've just recalled. Of attempted suicide. So I was looking after a kid here. They're both here in Australia, and we were in a hotel room. This kid had he's a Māori kid, but he's living here for a while. His older brother, two older siblings had committed suicide, and this guy was on high alert watch for just high risk suicide. So they put us on the 4th floor of a hotel room, or like a motel. And I went to the bathroom, came out, and he's on the balcony. This guy's like, so he's in his past, he's done like the old cutting up and down his arms and stuff. And there was no triggers because I just met this kid. And I was also, so I was doing handover, went to the bathroom, came back, and he was on the balcony. We had staff on there. He was trying to talk him down. And the immediate threat there was, because he's attempted it a couple of times. And the closer you get, and this reflect, I just want to take it back to the other staff member was Caucasian, and I was obviously the nice tan looking guy in the room. And I hadn't met him yet, but and it wasn't the right thing to do. But the staff was panicking, and they're doing all the right things as in process, right? Like took just trying to calm them down, de-escalation, all that stuff. But for me, the immediate risk was if he jumped, right? So just whenever, just hugged them, just wrapped them up and pulled them over. And then it didn't de-escalate anything because he just went on to grab a knife and started slicing himself in the bathroom. But it's when they're in that state and situation, like, or that state of mind, it's really hard to kind of get them out of that phase they're going through. And this kid, he ended up taking off, and he didn't come back till like who knows what. But he ended up going out and hanging out with friends, and then doing drugs to kind of get away from it. That was just something I remembered. But the feelings I had around the feelings I had around seeing someone almost jumping off, and then I actually watched him. I watched him with a steak knife, and he's hacking away, and I could feel it, and I'm not even near him. He's hacking, and I can hear it, and I can feel it. Like that feeling, that feeling, you guys. Someone's doing something to themselves, and you get that yuck feeling. I felt every slice he did. I felt it on my own arm, and they still. So over here, you're not allowed to go and intervene like that. You can't go because it's a risk to yourself. So as we do, as Polynesians do, I just went and grabbed the knife, and then he stopped, and then he looked at me, and all the blood's like pushing out of his arm and stuff, and then, but like it's real. Oh yeah, I don't even know why I brought it up, but that was an experience that I had with attempted suicide. We did all the first aid stuff, but he took off, and he tried to rip his arm off a tail, but he just took off. Did his thing, came back a couple of days, or however. Yeah, but we've had the cutting experiences are pretty shocking with young people. We had a girl find a piece of glass, and she'd rub it into her vein, like rub it deep in, and then when your heart beats, it does the squirt thing. So she found it, right, and she's like there looking and smiling, right, and I'm thinking to myself, what's going through your mind? How are you smiling through this? And it's them trying to they're really hurt, but they also get a kind of thrill out of it. But that's the mask that they're really, really distressed there. And it was shocking, man. And it's not something staff counselling can kind of get rid of it. So when I think I kind of pushed it to the back, but once we started talking about it, and my subconscious was looking through these files, and then it found, I was like, just the reactions and how just reactions to it, and what I saw was pretty crazy.
You reckon these kids are like doing it for the attention, or like see that girl smiling?
Yeah. So it's not bad attention. So the attention is that they want someone to go, and that's the only way they know how to communicate, because they can't say I need help. So them saying, cutting, that's them saying in their language, I need help. But some stuff we need to learn more about picking up on it, because we're quite reactive, and it's I don't know what the process is now, but we're all reactive. We just want to get rid of the risk. That's absolutely correct. Get rid of it, and then the therapeutic building is that trying to establish, but in their own time, because we can't force answers out of them and stuff. They don't know how to articulate what's going on for them, so that's a matter of us trying to find a language, right? because they don't speak our language. We know how to, because we're adults, we know how to regulate, we know how to talk, we know how to, sometimes we know how to, show our feelings. These kids have absolutely no idea. They were never taught by their parents. All they saw was, domestic violence, they saw drugs, they saw rape, they were raped, That's how they learn. That's their communication level. And it's important as a support worker or youth worker, whatever worker you are, is to come down to their level and really, really just, find a way to talk to them. And it's not even about telling them what's right and what's wrong. It's just about listening to them and what's going on. Because they don't even tell you what's going on. They could say I was raped, but it's unpacking the rape, It could have been a brother or someone close to them, and they're more torn up about that than the actual rape part. It could be. I'm just chucking it out there. But yeah,
That's
sorry.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think another reason they cut themselves and stuff is, when you've got one pain and you want it to go away, you can't make it go away. So the only thing that can take away that pain is some other pain.
Yeah.
So when the pain's mental, there's probably that thought that physical pain takes it away. Well, we'll take their mind off the mental pain for a bit, which is, I guess, another reason for doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Physical pain, yeah.
And then they have stuff like strategies, or like in our safety plan, if someone wants to feel pain, in our industry we give them rubber bands, if they feel like hurting themselves, just grab your rubber band and just flick it as like almost like a harm minimization thing, or hold on to ice cubes. You wanna, because your brain's not functioning well, but by doing like holding an ice cube in your hand, the touch and all that sort of stuff really focuses your thinking to kind of move away from the bad thoughts and focus onto whatever's in their hands, if they're touchy people, or if it's about movement. So if you ever get into a situation like that, you wanna, whatever works for the kid, you wanna be able to kind of, if his communication is to jump around and throw stuff, just do it with him, so he feels like he can move away from the thinking of it and try focus on just trying to release whatever adrenaline or rush that he has, for him to, it'll eventually die out, and then you can do all the unpacking later. Like,
Well,
yeah. And other times we've just had to restrain, like full on 4 people come and restrain someone from hanging themselves. And then you put on suicide gowns and all sorts, and that's demeaning. But it's about safety, and the whole point of like where you get success is when the kid is calm and in a good space. That's where you talk about how you manage, like not when they're in the moment and they're trying to harm themselves. They're not going to learn there. It's you take every opportunity while they're like at a baseline where they're normal, and then you teach them. You go over, it's repetition, repetitive, about communication. What's the cues? You get them to understand and be able to understand what triggers them off, and then ask for stuff. We need to be able to see that when it happens earlier than, because if we miss it, it will just escalate into a situation where it'll be harder to manage.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, guys.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah. Speaking on the youth, for about I think 3 years I did a bit of youth work. That's Lindsay,
Lindsay.
brother. So yeah, I did a bit of youth work going back about 8-9 years ago. So when we were trained up to obviously become youth workers, we 40K. I don't think we had enough training, to be honest. What's up, Louis?
Sup, brothers?
Easy.
Yeah.
Sorry, man, some of us are still working.
I appreciate your sacrifice there also.
Yeah, now some of us, well, I thought we didn't have enough training, but a couple of training techniques was if you were to get in an altercation with a YP or young person, to remove yourself straight away from the situation. Get about 1.5 meters or 2 meters, or as long as you're away from that situation. So one of the teachers said, I'll go for a scenario and we'll see how you guys react. And one of the bigger boys said, hey, I'll jump into this one. So the tutor or the trainer said, yep, okay. I want you to come at me and attack me with nothing but just. So the big guy just straight away went in and started running at him and I was trying to go, oh wait, stop there. I just want to show the class there how you want to react. So the guy stopped, and at that time he said stop. He went and moved closely to the guy and tried to restrain him, but he didn't say anything to the big guy. So the big guy just threw him off, and everyone in the class just looked at him like, this professional guy is not doing good. So the trainer in my eyes were like, oh, bro, you already planned a situation in your head that this was going to happen. Yet you had no way of controlling the situation or getting away from it. So we went through all this paperwork and said, but this is not going to happen in real life, especially with young kids. They're not going to listen to you. They're just going to, first thing they want to do is try and hunt you down. And so later on, the tutor said to us, this is just what I gave you. This is what I've been given, and this is what you guys are going to use when you get out there. So I'm like, this doesn't make sense at all. But anyway, we got our little certificates to say that we've been through that training. Fast forward to jumping on the job, a young fella, racist young fella that just didn't like brown people, black people. And he was on high alert, so he had tracking, and we had two people. We had two people tracking him 24/7, and the two people were fighters, which was myself and I think Wills at the time. The bed that he had was just a mattress. The room that he had no curtains because they said no, don't bring the curtains in because that's a trigger for him to use. He's used it before. So in that room was the bed, the blanket, and that's basically it. And we sat there on a chair. So we had to just look at him for about 8 hours of the shift. And one morning I went to take over from another tracker. He was under his blanket for ages. This was going up to about an hour. Had a look underneath. I pulled the blanket and he held onto it tight. And he just had like a little staple that he was just like trying to cut himself, but at the same time he was just sticking in. Like what Thing was saying. Josh was saying about someone had a little glass and tried to poke at the veins. So under the blanket he had a staple that he found. And he just kept trying to poke. Within that time, he couldn't do anything. So when we pulled the blanket off him, he just started coming at us like, you effing B, black, F, all the words I've done. And for me, taking it in, I was like, all that training didn't really help because in my head I wanted to give him a hang. In my house, this bloody bastard's calling me. He just kept going, and on his notes it said everything. Like he says that sort of stuff, he does this sort of things. But yeah, he had about probably 2-3 hours with us, and we called up to our management and said, look, this is not working for us. Either he has to move or we have to get white people to look after him, which didn't happen because they didn't have anyone at the time. So for about, I think it was like 5 days, I was that person to look after him. And what Josh was talking about, you have to like dig deeper into the brain and try and understand the guy, which I did. And I kept asking him, why are you calling me a black nigger when I'm probably the whitest in this house? Why don't you call them black niggers, And he started laughing. I was like, I am calling them black niggers. I'm like, well then call me. I'm one of your brothers. I get deeper. I'm one of your brothers. I'm as white as you. And he goes, nah, you're still a black nigger. I'm like, in my head, I just, brother, calm down, please, brother. But
Just allow him.
yeah, and well, obviously he couldn't do it. But yeah, in that space, about 5 days, the first day he was restrained like nearly 20 times because he just wanted to fight. He just did things that didn't happen. Well, in training, that didn't happen. On the paper, it said he's gonna do this. It didn't happen. So we had to strain him like 20 plus times, and we tried to call the cops. And the cops, obviously, our house was the next best thing for the kid, for his safety. So that's my little mean story for the night.
So there was was it NVCI?
Shit, bro, I can't remember. Man. This place in Newland, yeah, we had the training.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that what you were asking about the training?
Yeah. The training.
Yeah. It was in Newland. Can't recall the name of the place, but bro, it was. Well, I got signed off anyway, so that was happening.
Man, you guys got a lot of patience at their work, kind of work you guys do, man. That was me. I would have been head first into the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. You get all sorts of different stuff, like, especially poly stuff like that at work.
Mm.
But you once you start to understand just how the brain works, or you just have a deeper understanding, because we go in there with our life skills, right? None of us are. So I wasn't educated when I started the work. So that was me in the beginning. In my beginning years at work, you just not muck around, but you use your poly life skills. Then you really start to even. It's only just now that I start to understand all the training that I've ever been through, and why they kind of they give us the training to understand all of like how a kid is and why a kid is. But like when you're young or when you get into the industry, it's not even about, you just want to use your life experience, chill with the kids, and then when things like that happen, you just manage it the way you manage it, and then you get educated a bit later on. But there's some really good ideas behind how and why things work, and it's just a matter of and how you said, like, have patience seeing stuff like strangle kids, man. They haven't been able to kind of like detach themselves from the attacks and stuff. And it's not a skill that you just have, right? I mean, some people have it, but you have to learn to have it in the industry like this. You need to learn to be patient, because these kids are testing us, man, and they test you.
Straight up.
All the testing is to see if they're gonna be safe, right? They test and push the boundary so that they know in their minds that this stuff is solid, this is his boundary, and we can't get past it, or he's gonna keep me safe because he's gonna do the right thing. Or you react, then they know that this is the stuff I can get my way with, right? So their test of it's to test authority, to test their safety. That's all it is. And we must communicate their actions as being negative and bad, but no, it's just how they communicate. These kids are smarter than average kids that in mainstream schools and all sorts. These kids will survive better than because our kids we cotton soft them, eh? We give them everything. We protect them from all dangers. Once we're gone, they're not gonna have the proper skill sets to once that happens to them, or they might have picked it up. But these kids that grow up on the streets, they have a better survival. Like they can survive the real world. But sorry, I just like going off on a tangent.
Nice.
Drama, bro. No drama.
Nah, thank you.
Nice.
Very nice.
Looking a bit tired there, boss man.
Who? Jeremiah.
Still in the closet, bro. Still in the closet.
Your boys back on tomorrow morning?
Yeah, bro. 4 years. You guys?
Yeah.
on, Maya? You on tomorrow?
Yeah, man. 12 morning.
He's already there.
Pretty much shut now, and he's still in there.
Lovely job, eh?
Yeah.
Bro, your brother Sean doesn't talk to me anymore. Sorry, no names.
Which one? Is he?
Yeah,
Yeah, see.
because the man did about ITB. Took it about personal. Hey, Josh, you working through the COVID?
Yeah. So we're essential workers. I'm on my week off, but we carry on. All essential workers or all support workers or whoever works with you for mental health, they carry on.
Nice.
When do you start your week?
Saturday. I start Saturday, finish on Thursday morning. Then I do the Saturday day shift, and then I'm off. It's a pretty good roster. Like I get like 8 days off in a fortnight.
Oh,
Do all my hours in the first week.
Nice.
Nice, bro. How's the COVID in Sydney? Is it?
So it's pretty bad, eh? They closed the borders to Brisbane about 2 weeks ago, and then the hotspots. There's like heaps of hotspots, and our government's not really doing much. Well, not that I'm aware of, because I don't really watch the news these days. But there's been like all around southwest Sydney, like the Campbelltown area, went to Mount Druitt, further in like further east, like towards the city area. But people kind of just don't care until they get hit with it, or
yeah, for sure.
and that's a the whole. I don't know if you guys follow any conspiracies and stuff. It's pretty funny. Like there's always two sides there: black and white, hot and cold, evil and good, and it's just
Take a trip down the rabbit hole, bro. Let's take a trip
down
down the rabbit hole.
down there, bro. Any of the brothers down the rabbit hole? Do some umus down there and oh, it's crazy how you see people react to it, eh? Like,
Bro, that's crazy, these theories, man.
And then the 5G towers and
or the bat, the Wuhan bat or whatever. Batman came with the coronavirus or something. Yeah, so there hasn't been restrictions. So a couple of back in March there were full on restrictions, but now like it's not that bad.
straight up. And when do you travel through the checkpoints in the mornings, or do you?
Yeah.
You come through?
Yeah, man. Yep.
Was it in Melbourne? Are you in Melbourne?
No. I'm just outside of Auckland.
Oh.
But Auckland's on lockdown, so I've got to go through checkpoints both ways. Yeah, no, it was kind of buzzy at the beginning, eh? Just seeing Auckland on a lockdown, like fucking hell, it's nuts.
Another conspiracy behind that, but just another day.
Yeah, like how Jeremiah started it.
From a closet,
a miracle under the desk.
from a closet he's been visiting.
He's New Zealand's back.
With the essential workers coming through Auckland, do you still get checked? Or
Yeah, no, everyone gets
process
stopped.
for every single person.
Everyone gets stopped. Yep. I've seen a few get turned around, which is kind of sad, especially if they were supposed to go to work.
True.
But I mean, no, I can kind of see the point. If the aim is to keep this COVID thing under wraps, then I suppose you got to be a bit stringent.
Do you get the temperature or is it the straw up the nose?
Nah, it's up the bum.
Suddenly.
That's for the coconut look.
We haven't got to that level yet. That's in the send all the money. Eh?
What kind of testing they do at Pocono?
Not the test, bro. The one
It's in, Jeremiah, it's in the name, man. It's in the name, man.
You do the COVID testing at home before you go?
Oh, dare I tell you that, kid, eh?
Shit,
Different
bro.
breed at Pocono, man.
Oh, bro.
They must love it because the lines are always packed, bro. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Love the-
It's been pretty good lately, though. I mean, I think most people are staying home now.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Nah, Auckland's been good, bro. Auckland's been good. Yeah, listen.
No traffic, no people. Nice.
Yeah, and KFC's still open.
The traffic's still busy.
That's the best of everything.
Yeah, bro, I was waiting for him to say level 4, so better get my KFC fix. I went in today. It was probably 30-minute wait around lunchtime. That was the longest. I was wondering. Shit, I was hungry as too.
Yeah, that's one thing we've got to watch out is our health, man. Man, I think I need to go get a checkup from the doctors, man. I'm sure I'm on high blood pressure, man.
Oh, bro.
You need to sort out your eyes too,
for sure.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, man. We're diabetic, bro. And the
Do
nuts.
you know if you are, or do you just?
Nah, I'm all good, bro. I had a check before, and they said, bro, borderline, man. Borderline, man. So, yeah.
Gents, I got to call it a night. But thank you.
Yo,
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
Sure, Josh.
Thanks, man.
Bro, Maya, bro, you need to wear your glasses too, bro. Making it worse for yourself.
Yeah. Oh,
What do
look
you-
at homo.
nah, man.
Bro, you can get the glasses, and apparently the company can.
They reimburse you 300, I think.
Yeah.
Yo,
And the RMTU
sorry,
reimburse you as well.
the
I
glasses-
got glasses.
bro,
I
you
just
can
wear
get
when I'm
better frames,
driving.
bro. You can get styler glasses like Swanky's one.
No, the ones that cost 1,000.
Hey, nah, man. Just $40.
Nah, bro. To have, do you get headaches when you without your glasses or at certain times?
Nah, man.
Well, man,
No
with the
headaches,
amount of squinting that I see you do, though, your eyeballs are gonna pop out of your head soon.
Yeah, bro. Look after your eyes, bro. Because still a
Trust
young
me.
fella.
Trust me, you wanna look after them.
Hey, you wear glasses too, Vince?
I'm clinically blind, but I wear
What?
But I wear.
You can't use that to stop us.
But no, I wear lenses. So they're called rigid gas permeable. So, but they're hard plastic ones. So they're not like the soft silicon ones that you guys know. So the reason being is because I got keratoconus. So you imagine the shape of an eyeball. Is that what you got, Jeremiah?
Yeah, that's what I've got. I went to the guys I wanted to get contacts, but they told me I couldn't because
You can't. You don't get normal contacts. You get the hard ones.
Yeah, and you can look through your ladies' undies, but the other eye is half handicapped. Yeah, it's like shaped like an oval ball or something.
Yeah. So the eyeball is supposed to look like a lemon or something, but because the skin on the front of your eye is so thin, and the eye's always under pressure, so it just squeezes and it pops out where that thin layer is.
Yeah.
And that thin layer just screws up your eye. It's like, but the hard lens pushes it back into shape.
Oh, true. So I can get contacts.
You can. It just has to be the RG. They're called RGP lenses.
And
The guy
do
at
you wear it
Put
24/7?
down, bro.
I take it off at bed when I go to sleep. But
Oh, make sure you're in the right bed and you take it off. Yeah?
it never comes off.
Oh,
gotta,
you can
gotta,
sleep with him.
Nah, you
Those
shouldn't.
contacts.
They recommend you don't
Is your
sleep with anything in your eye.
Nah,
No.
because it dries out and it comes off.
Yeah.
Comes out.
It comes out.
But yeah, go get sorted, man.
I'll just start wearing my glasses. That's the only thing.
Just start wearing your glasses, bro. Well, just fuck anyone that says anything.
Bro, you pretty much get out half the public anyway. So
Oh,
Oh,
know,
what
you
about
your home base?
customer service, bro?
Oh, and Lindsay said only if they're progressives also. So
Oh yeah, so the glasses progressives. Yeah. So they can't be bifocals.
Lindsay. What's wrong?
I was having some like bad headaches before. This was going back a couple of months ago when I started doing night shifts. Bro, my head was pain. I felt like I was going through like that aneurysm where you have you just cark it.
Talking about
And yeah, went in to see a specialist to look at my eyes. He said everything was all good, but he said when you're driving at night, you need some sort of glasses that he gave the what do you call it, the card to tell to get the different sort of lenses on your glasses. But he said nighttime is probably why you're struggling and you get more of your headaches because your eyes are trying to look harder at the LEDs. I'm like, bro, I didn't even have to look. They're bloody bright as. Oh, if it's happening at night and it's more, if it keeps happening at night, then it must be the LEDs. Or the nose. But yeah, I don't know if they're progressive though, and they don't get refunded or get much reimbursed.
Easy for Vince to get through. He looks Muslim. Nah, man, that makes it harder. That's why I get it up the bum.
Yeah, speaking about
the North
What are you
and
gonna say,
South game.
What are you saying, Jeremiah?
no, I'll go Terry?
No, go ahead. Go.
No, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Don't talk all my man. Come on.
Yeah.
Get up, bro.
Kia ora.
No, the North and South rugby match.
Is that still going or?
It's a 50-50 from what I've been hearing. And
Oh, that's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, next week Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Well, it depends on what Auntie says.
Auntie says, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know, man. I was watching the news and it doesn't look good.
She'll probably extend level 3, I reckon.
You've been to too many places, Jeremiah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
Without washing.
Too many personal COVID tests.
Whoa.
Sorry for the late entry, boys.
Whoa.
Hey, Mac, Buddha, scratch.
How are you, Bolo?
Bolo's good, thank you.
Bolo.
Hello.
How you doing, Nus?
Are you
Can Maybe just turn down your
good
TV
things,
there,
boys.
mate.
No, was that you eating corn chips before or something?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah.
How dare
Sorry, man.
you
I
ask him
thought
to
you
turn
guys
on his
couldn't hear it.
TV? Yeah.
I thought you guys couldn't hear it, but I was trying to eat it quietly.
Hey, Maya, you know, if you tap on your picture, these are un or mute buttons.
There's a mute button, yeah.
You go through and mute it.
Oh,
Just
oh.
You put that on for
Not
the rest
just,
of the night thing?
Was that up?
while the brother Josh was dropping his knowledge, the man was
Oh. I thought you guys couldn't hear me, man.
Yeah, no, man.
No,
Wait,
man.
what do you mean they can't hear you? Look how close you are to your camera.
That's just his nose you can see.
You're that blind if you put your face right up to the camera.
Yeah.
Lindsay, how's life and how's the family going?
Oh, no, life's good, thanks, bro. Yeah, just taking every day as it comes. Just at the wifey's birthday yesterday, so celebrated that.
Oh, happy
All
birthday.
good and good.
Nice.
Yeah, they all say happy birthday, love.
Does she say go make it?
she said, go wash the dishes.
No, all's been well, thanks. Hope all's been well with you guys as well.
Yeah.
Same, man.
Same old.
No, that's the one, man.
Hey,
Work hard, play
closing
hard.
Monday.
What?
You still closing on Monday?
Yeah, for a couple weeks at least.
Oh, is that been confirmed there, Benny?
Yeah, so it's only Manukau to Otahu for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, just
What about the transitive? What about the Hurricane Eastern buses? Why do they use that to travel between Otahu and Manukau?
Don't know.
Vince didn't
Come on,
want
man.
to. Vince wants to
I-
train.
Big moves out there, man. Come on.
It doesn't sit right with me that you guys sit at home doing nothing. When you guys can run trainings.
That's not good enough, Vinny. That's not good enough. You can't give us a no, bro. You can't do that.
Nah, it's because trains obviously provide better social distancing, so we want to provide them as much as we can. So buses just aren't up to scratch. So. I think buses you could only fit like 19 people per bus with social distancing.
Well, that's more than what we're carrying at the moment, are we?
Yeah, true. But if next week we go back into level 2, then buses are
Oh,
be
true.
able to, yeah. So that's the thinking behind it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not
So
it's
they're
not just
making that
because I want you guys to come
announcement,
to work. Yeah, if I have to work, you have to work.
Yeah.
Only
Official
we
announcement,
see
I don't
you.
know.
Zeros? The official
Oh,
announcement.
no, yeah, I don't know when they're gonna do the official announcement. But should have been done already.
I think they could be making it tomorrow, eh?
All that.
It's on the Key Rail website. It's already posted up.
Oh, is it up?
Yeah.
What, the announcement or the...
Yeah, the announcement of on Monday. So the Eastern Line.
No, we're talking about the lockdown level, whether it's going to be down to 2 or...
Oh,
That's Wednesday, I think.
I heard it was, she's gonna say something about it tomorrow or something.
Tomorrow,
Mm. I was talking to the husband.
Has these not?
Oh.
You are a dirty.
You have some knee pads as
Just
well,
don't
bro.
know. Just don't know, Gustavo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I hope we go to level 2.
Better safe than sorry, boys.
Boys, I'll be
do
back.
that.
Go clean the dishes before Danielle gets home.
Yeah, I know. That's got to take out the chicken. No, I'll see you in a bit.
Take you.
Yeah.
Okay, good night.
Your shoulders. Very nice.
Frankie, you look tired, man. What have you been doing, man?
Wow, just reading my buttons and that's a nice.
Reading your
Making sure all the
bulletins.
buttons sitting normal.
I just seen a video of Joel taking the train, and at the points, the key park replaced and they've moved a bit of the track. Is that right, or was that just something
Yeah.
that took ages ago?
That video was taken, I think it was earlier today, this afternoon. Yeah, Chris did it from the iPad and sent it to Joel, and he uploaded it onto the... yeah. Oh, you've been on annual, haven't you, Terry? Or?
I just had an idea today, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not enough annual.
Just the anal.
COVID anal test.
When you back, Lindsay?
No, I was working today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back on tomorrow at 11:30. Just surviving the 40Ks and the 25K on the network.
That's it, brother. That's it. Stay woke.
This is the cruise control button. You just put it on 40. You don't have to run the unit.
Yeah. And after you activate, they had a uniform.
Put on cruise
Just
control.
walk home from wherever you are.
Some people are suggesting tone mode.
Right?
Because it keeps it limits you to 40k apparently.
Yeah, just try
Oh,
it.
yeah. But it's a bit of
to make it
a...
easy, bro. Anything to make it easy.
Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, here with the towing mode, because it gives you the full capacity of the, what do you call it, with the acceleration. It'll be pretty rough on the traction. Once you put on the traction, it'll be like take off at full speed, kind of.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just forget what I just mentioned, okay? I don't know why I put it. Alright, boys, we're going to close up the show. It's been an hour and 40, and we've done a good job. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in with us, tapping in on the Daily Squeeze for the Boys Podcast. You can find us here every Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, Soaks, for jumping on board, and also to our other guests, me and Josh. So that's us, boys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Sweet.
Stay
Good night,
safe.
Okay,
boys.
good night, boys.
And
Go.
let's go.